What's it going to take for you to come out of the shadow? Whether this is your own shadow, whether this is the shadow of an issue in your life. And it's not all down to you, lovely Cancerians, either. This is not, it's part of it is the universe, and part of it is what's happened to you over the last, I'm going to say 2 or 3 years. You've had a lot of deep realizations about who you are, about maybe glimmers of what you want, and sort of also little peeks into who you potentially could be, what you could potentially achieve. But there's something that just casts this dark shadow over it. And I'm going to look at that for you, and I'm going to look at how to clear it, because I feel like it's time. We're coming for, this is your December 2025 reading. We're turning, the year will be turning. I took 2 oracle cards for you, which were also incredibly interesting. First, you've got this one, which is repairing the veil. And I feel like, and it says forgiveness, forgiveness underneath, the ultimate in F-bombs, forgiveness. But I've never met a Cancerian really that had, well, okay, let me think. Cancerians are good at forgiveness. You're good at being adaptable. You're good at fitting in and not rocking the boat unless you really have to. But underneath that, if you think of the veil as some kind of fabric of yourself, fabric of your soul, and I'm going to say fabric of your life so far, it feels as if you need to reintegrate. Not like stitch it up, although that would be an initial way of doing it, but like actually organically grow over anywhere where it's been wounded and repair it. Okay, so you never knew it was there. Strap in, I almost just swallowed the tag off my herbal tea bag. Interesting times, lovely Cancerians. The other card I got for you, I'm going to share with you in a minute. I'm going to take some tarot cards first on where we're at, okay? On where I meet you, on where I greet you, and can I just reassure you that I do, in true Cancerian style, have my furry hot water bottle, I know, which has a secret thing you can put your hand in, and my disgusting yet comfortable house coat. I know that you approve, and let me know in the comments. I can never hear too many times about your comfortable but disgusting clothing that you wear in the house. Okay, that card wants to be seen. Okay, good. You're good at that anyway. We can live with that. I'm using some Christmassy cards. It's not my usual thing, but we'll use some Christmassy ones, but we'll use some other ones as well. Oof. How darn interesting. Okay. First card is the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Page of Pentacles, as we know, close bosom friend of the Knight of Pentacles, Mr. Knight of Pentacles. You need to be patient. That's all I'm saying. This is what we get from the Page and the Knight. I think personally, and you may yet get the Knight, but I feel like the Page is a gentler fellow, okay? A gentler sort of, whoa Nelly. You may, and for some of you I'm getting, especially because we've got repairing the veil and we've got forgiveness, there may be waves of anger. And this is a Cancerian thing. It's very, very deeply buried. In the everyday, you let many things pass. Many of you are empaths. You're a water sign, I'm a water sign. Not usually the way of water signs to kind of dive in there and, have it out. But these things, what I'm getting is that it's becoming sort of over the years, maybe decades, it's sort of gently impacted. When you get like rock and it all kind of goes on top of each other and gets squished. That, okay, whatever the word is for that. And you've had a lot of patience with a lot of people, And I don't fear it's going to run out, because I rather hope it will. But I know that this is going to be a bump in the road for you. Okay? But it's a bump worth taking. Okay? Then we get, they look like Q-tips, don't they, when they've got snow on? We get the 8 of Wands for you, which is great, because this is a breakthrough of sorts. Okay? This can be a conversation, this can be a download that you're having. I feel like you are a sign that does cooperate, that does repair, that does seek harmony, that wants to bring harmony to others. You know, you want to put big, lovely Cancerian arms around the world, around your people, around your kin, around your pets. That is what Cancerians are like. It's the mother sign. It's ruled by the moon. But at the same time, this is quite a powerful download. This is why you might find yourself feeling like the feelings of protest, the feelings of wanting to kind of kick something off. And that isn't what you're normally about. And also, we've got several planets in retrograde, okay? We're just coming out of Mercury retrograde, but there are other planets in retrograde. And we're also coming up to that sort of dark tunnel of a time, coming out of Scorpio season, just coming to the turn of the year. And the universe just wants to see you succeed. It wants to see you win. But in order to win, it's a bit like when you're an athlete. It's a bit of an ugly business sometimes, and you have to be prepared to get your claws dirty, okay? And not be helpful sometimes when you're inclined to be helpful, and not fill the gap that somebody else is leaving, and not smooth things over, and not deny yourself the truth. Okay? Next card we get, covered in snow on his left knee. Is that his left knee? Could be his right knee. Depends which way you look at it. Hanged Man. Not surprised to see this energy. When you get this energy, it's speaking of retrogrades, and it's speaking of patience, and it's speaking of good timing and divine timing. And we've talked about this before, but I'll mention it again because it's always worth a mention. A change for a Cancerian is like turning the ferry. It doesn't happen quickly. You're not in a speedboat. Like my speedboat impression. You're in a ferry. I don't know how big the wheel is or how people turn ferries, but it's an appointment you have to book if you're turning a ferry. You have to know, because it takes a while. Otherwise it will just tip. It will list. There's a lot riding on something, okay? There's a lot riding on something. And we will have a look. Speaking of a lot riding on something, I don't know why my mind went there, lovely Cancerians. What in the Benny Hill is that about? There's a lot riding on something. And I'm going to tell you that we're going to do a love reading in the second half. Chicka chicka. Well, okay. Furry muff. Page of Wands. I'm glad to see it being the page. To be honest, I thought it was the king when I first saw it, and I was like, woof, do we want that one in here wanging his thing around the joint? Not right now, you know, but the Page of Wands is good. Page of Wands is just the energy of excitement, of Kundalini energy, of feeling the passion. You are going to be, and this happens, and you know it does, to a different sign every month. You're going to be pretty stoked up on the fire. I can't speak at the moment because I'm making this video during Mercury retrograde, which means I just do loads of spoonerisms and blah, 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 speak like that. There's going to be more fire in you than usual. Okay, you're going to feel the woof. I like this. It's ideas, it's passion, it's drive, it's motivation, it's indignation, but it's also a compulsion that you will not back down. You will not sit down on this. You will not be overlooked. You will not be nice. And again, and I'm going to take a couple of inner shadow cards. This particularly goes out to most of you because you're the people pleasers. But even more so, if you were brought up to be a people pleaser, if that happened in your formative years. And I'm going to take a couple of cards for that as well. Because we go through loads of regenerations in our lifetime. You know, physically, our liver regenerates, our cells regenerate, our hair follicles, all that stuff, we regenerate. But psychologically, there are just times, and sometimes we know them and we can mark them, like I remember when I had this realization. And sometimes we only see it in hindsight. Okay? Oh my God, that's so good. And for you, I think it's going to be a little combination of both. It's so strong, that 8 of Wands. It's so, I want to say penetrating, but I'm like, I'm going to have to open an OnlyFans account if I carry on like this. So penetrating. It's powerful. This feeling of rejecting what you previously would have gone along with. And this is going to run through your personal relationships, and we'll look at that in the love section, but also your friendships and your family relationships. I know, I mean, happy Christmas. It's the holidays. Oh God. And these things as well, it's not my favourite time of the year. You know it's not if you've watched me for a while. It can be really overwhelming, especially because we're coming to the end of the year. You start reviewing your life, you know, what happened this year. And even on just a more basic level, who's around, who's not around anymore that was around last year. And, you know, proximity to family brings up a lot. And it feels like for you, because your shadow cards are the Ace of Cups, yeehaw for a shadow card, Cancerians. It's a lot, that is, but I love it because look, it comes up with the 6 of Pentacles as well. And the 6 of Pentacles is a card about, yes, it's about giving, but it's more about receiving, and receiving unconditional love. What's been going on is that over the last, I want to say, well, it could be your lifetime, but definitely in the last 6 years, because I saw this happening around 2019, I remember it. There'll be probably old YouTube videos on here of me talking about it. We started thinking about that ferry turning, and it could take 6 years for it to turn. You know, Cancerians are not in a hurry. You are not surface people. You are deep, deep people. And it's like you go along, you're doing all of the work and you're getting the sort of mini downloads for things, but then you get a major one, which is that 8 of Wands. But all that major one does is join all the dots that you'd already been joining for years anyway. But it's almost like, and I'm getting channeled for you, a load of dots and you're threading them up, a bit like fairy lights if we want to do a Christmas metaphor, okay? You're, you know, testing the bulb on all of the lights, twisty. I know everyone has LED, I still have filament. Hit me up in the comments. And by the way, if this is resonating, please do hype the video. I know if you're on a phone, hit the like button, thank you very much, and go like that, like you're on Tinder, and you will find, I know, sorry to give you PTSD there, you're like, no, don't remind me. You will find past clip and all that stuff, hype, and you can hype the video, and I'd be massively grateful. Thank you very much, lovely Cancerians. I know a lot of you do hype the video already. And also, always drop me a crab in the comments. Right, this is what you deserve. This is what you are joining your fairy lights together, and only when you get to the last one, which is this download, does the whole Just drop cards on the floor. Let me go and get them. Does the whole tree of knowledge light up for you? Let me just get those cards. Love me some cards that drop on the floor. Okay, and I do feel this is the right time to move into the erection section, to move into the love reading. Okay. Oh my lord. Oof. Hello. Well, what have you been up to? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Okay, good. Chicka chicka, you get this Christmassy devil. I really hope he's got pants on, because that's not, yeah. That's like when my cats, I've got a glass roof in the kitchen and one of them starts slipping and you can look up and think, what's that noise? And there's a cat like this, spread-eagled, but you get a bad view sometimes. Okay, the devil. I'm not that surprised to see the devil turn up in your love life. The devil is everything that you may be chained to, held to, that may be toxic for you. Now, for some of you, this may be a particular person, someone that you can't throw off, you can't shift, you can't forget, you just can't, okay? For whatever that is. It can also be toxic relationships from the past, particularly if there was one very sort of significant person, someone who was really, I don't know, I'm just getting scorched earth. There was a scorched earth thing going on with this person. We then get the Four of Cups, which is what I call emotional neutral. Because you're in a very formative state, and because you're in a time of change, but change that you have already been working on for so long, you might find, and I'm really pleased to see there's a squirrel there as well, because I love a squirrel. You might find that you need to move into emotional neutral. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling lost, if you've just got all of these feelings like a casserole of nonsense and you don't know what to do, move into emotional neutral. Okay? Shall we just look? I'm going to take a pause and take the other card. This is the Woodwives. Adaptability. Now, the Woodwives are like tree folk who come in when they know it's time for you to change, and they kind of help you with it. And I like the idea of this, but I also know that there are going to be times when you're going to not feel like doing it, and when you're going to be tempted to keep things the same, because, you know, we did a little thing here the other month where I asked Cancerians how many of you have old shoes, favourite shoes that you can't throw away. And the response was huge. Cancerians keep hold of family teddy bears for decades, for generations. Let me know in the comments. I already know, but let me know because I want to hear it. And you can be the same with loyalty and with feelings and with exes and with situations. It's time for you to stand up and be counted. And nowhere does this happen more than in your love life. Okay? And also because this dude is knocking around and I'm a big fan. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is fantastic for Cancerians because it's somebody who is real and honest and steady. Now, for some of you, this is a standard, and this needs to be your standard, whatever your situation is at the moment. For others of you, you may meet somebody who is worthy of you. And for others, let me see what it means if you're already in a relationship, if you're already in contact with somebody. I want to know what we're getting for that as well, please. The Hermit with some snow on. That is so cute, isn't it, actually? Even for an old Grinch like me, I like these cards. Oh, a little shadow card. I was just moving the shadow cards and one dropped out. The Empress. Okay, you go there. Tell me more about the Hermit, please. I just had a channel message. You're dealing here with a private person. So you're dealing with somebody who's private, introvert, and guarded. Okay, interesting. I love that. Loads and loads of Q-tip wand energy. We get the Queen of Wands, and this is who you need to be. It's not your normal card. You'd normally be the Queen of Cups, but she is the Fire Queen. And sweetheart, you need to turn up the flame, okay? It's go big or go home when it comes to your love life over the next few weeks. Your standards are rising. They've been rising for ages. Your BS monitor is going up, and I'm pleased to see that. But also the quality of what's coming towards you is going to go up, and it's not a coincidence. You're going to get people being more straightforward, more honest, more open, more decent. We've also got the 9 of Wands. Boundaries. It's very important for you, and for some of you, it's giving me an itchy nose. Some of you are dealing with somebody who may be out of contact, out of the country. They're in a cave of some kind. We've got that here with the Hermit. But rather than trying to open the lines of communication, it's rather important for you to do the same. This came up last month for a lot of signs about you being in a cave and them being in a cave. And it was just as important for you to have your time as them to have theirs. Remember, we're in that Hanged Man energy as well. So I wouldn't be too quick to make any moves in your love life one way or the other. It feels like, because we then have the 9 of Pentacles. This is you shoring up your patch, you know, this is you feeling like you're building your resources, that you're honoring yourself, that you're honoring where you've come from. And it feels as if, yeah, Temperance. I would love that cloak, by the way. It feels as if you need to find the balance between not being over cynical or having it so that you're being really defensive and no one can get in at all, and being open but also being guarded. And that is a difficult trick to pull off, isn't it? It's a very difficult trick to pull off, because it feels to me as well as if some of you, I know all these cards have snow on, right? But some of you feel like you're out in the cold, and that somebody else is elsewhere in a cave, unreachable. And I want to know, please, what is the bridge between these two? I think in the extended reading, I am going to do one of my much loved now, actually, and much requested, me and you side by side love readings, okay? They reveal as much about you as they do about the other person, about the connection. So I do them, yes, I knew you were going to get that card. See, it's going to be Justice for Cancer. It is. Yes. That's brilliant. I love that we get candy canes and naughty and nice in it as well. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to look at, in the extended reading, you and them side by side. Okay? Love reading for lovely Cancerians. And you will learn as much about yourself as you will learn about your love life as well. It's a very deep, I want to say penetrating again. It's a very deep and penetrating reading. The link will be in the description box, okay? I'm going to go and do that right now. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.